Good afternoon, Capital Region restaurant fans and restaurant folks. This is Steve Barnes, back to you with the first July edition of Times Union Live and Table Hopping, where we discuss all sorts of things that are going on in the restaurant business as it pertains to, well, trying to rebuild from the coronavirus and the shutdown. And frankly, things have taken a turn since we were last here. So we are here today with Kaytrin Ziemann, who together with her husband, Devin, owns two restaurants in Albany. They're located right near one another. They're Crave Burgers and Frozen Yogurt, and the Cuckoo's Nest, which specializes in contemporary Southern cuisine, including really terrific fried chicken. So, Kaytrin, are you there? There you go. Hey.
Hi,
Good
Steve.
afternoon. So, let's jump right into it. June 17th, restaurants were allowed to start with limited seating and masks and all sorts of restrictions, indoor seating again. And you did that for basically a couple of weeks at Crave, which is fast casual, order at the counter and get your food. But then you decided to roll that back and strictly to revert to the takeout and delivery that you've been doing for more than a month now. Tell me about that decision. What was it? Why?
So Crave has always been takeout and delivery heavy. I would say 70% of our business since we opened has been takeout and delivery. So when we had to pivot back when coronavirus started, it was very easy for Crave's model to just shut down in-house dining. We continued to stay very busy, luckily, with takeout and delivery. Then we were told we could reopen in-house. So we said, okay, let's do that. Go back to our old model and separate tables and give everyone space. And we would have people who would come inside to eat, and we ran into a lot of issues with masks. If that's the number one reason we switched back, is because having to argue with people about wearing a mask to walk to the bathroom or to walk up to ask for another side of sauce or something was a lot to deal with. Most people, I would say, were understanding and wore their masks and followed the rules, but we had enough people that weren't, that we actually had the health department call us and say, we've gotten complaints that while someone was waiting for food, other guests didn't have masks on, and you need to be adhering to the rules. So when we got that call from the health department, it really, nobody wants that call, and our hearts sunk and our stomachs sunk. And I'm like, we're not that restaurant. We have been safe. We keep it clean. We wear masks. We wear gloves. We sanitize. We are taking all the measures that have been given to us and follow all the rules. So I just didn't want to have to deal with the people who didn't want to follow the rules at Crave. It's harder to manage the guests here, more so because at Cuckoo's Nest, I'm very present, and our manager at Cuckoo's Nest, Rachel, is there if I'm not. And we both have no problem telling people you have to wear a mask or you can't stay here. We have masks, we'll give you some, but you have to wear it, period. At Crave, our staff here, we put a lot of faith in them, and we expect a lot of them. And they're all under the age of 25, probably, like 19 to 25-year-old, work in the front, handling the calls in the register and taking the orders. And for them to have to take on people who don't want to wear a mask and are feeling that it's their American right not to wear a mask, they're intimidated and they're scared to try to push it on people. And then when they don't push it on people is when we have other customers who feel uncomfortable reporting to the health department.
Oh, that's terrible. Now, you said people feel it's their American right. You posted online that somebody called you un-American. I mean, it was simply, what did you personally, or what was that context? How did that exchange go?
So it was from our Crave business page. We posted something. This was actually right after the health department called, and I was like, all right, we just need to push it more. You have to wear a mask. We just need to get that out there more. So we posted something on our Crave page saying, please, if you come to our counter, you go to the bathroom, you walk inside, anything you're doing that's not at your table where you're eating, you need to wear a mask. It's the rules. It's not our rules, but it's the rules right now. You have to do it. There are serious repercussions if you don't. And maybe we got a lot of support, and then this guy wrote this long post saying, oh, F off, this is so un-American. Americans can't tell other Americans what to do. Just break the rules, do what you want to do, take them to court, take the fines and sue them, and you're going to win.
Right. And so right now, after being largely shut down and also having seriously limited business for 3.5 months, you're just rolling in the dough in order to go hire a lawyer, right?
Right. All the time in the world, all the resources to hire lawyers and fight the government. It's not my next door neighbor. This would be the New York State government that we would be fighting with to win something which I truly believe it's better for everyone to wear a mask. I wouldn't even stand by that notion that you shouldn't have to wear a mask in here.
Right. And I have so little patience with that argument, because these are the same people who have never said a word over decades of the signs on businesses that say no shirt, no shoes, no service. It's a private business. You either own the building or you have legal possession of that building through a lease. And so you can dictate the terms. And if you're not going to serve somebody with no shirt or no shoes, you can certainly say no mask. They don't seem to see this. This has become the same sort of idiocy that went on with seatbelts 50 plus years ago. And the difference is somebody comes in with a shirt off, maybe it's unsightly, maybe it's especially sightly, but there's nothing as inherently dangerous about a shirtless person, man or woman, as there is potentially about somebody without a mask.
Right. And same thing when restaurants switched from you can't smoke inside, like it's not the restaurant's rules. That's just the new law, and everyone needs to follow the rules, and that's what it is, period.
Now, tell me about, do you also you find a difference in the clientele, Crave versus Cuckoo's Nest? Because, Crave is less expensive. Most of them they're doing takeout, whereas Cuckoo's Nest is, particularly if you're sitting down, there's a bit of a commitment. You're going to be there for an hour plus for a couple of courses, a couple of drinks. So is that more of a self-selecting audience that you haven't had a problem with?
So I don't know that it's necessarily the people. I think it's more the structure of the restaurant. So Cuckoo's Nest, I was just across the street there and had to tell 3 people to please put your mask on when they walked inside. Like, we still deal with it there. I think Crave, their mentality is, I'm just walking in to grab a bag. I'm just here to grab my food and go. What do I need a mask for? It's more like, it's so quick casual. And then once they're here and they're eating on their burger, and then they're like, oh, I'm just going to run to the bathroom. It's just down right here, right next to me. But it's like, it doesn't matter how close it is. You might walk past someone without your mask on and they don't have a mask on. And I think it's just more the mindset of Crave is a little more just laid back, casual, in and out type of service, where Cuckoo's Nest, like you said, you're coming in, you're having drinks, you're committing, you're going to sit for a while, have appetizers, maybe order entrees, maybe get desserts, stay for another drink. It's more of a time investment. So it just feels like you should wear a mask more than the vibe you get from Crave.
Right. And let's talk about Cuckoo's Nest. Since you've returned, did you return the 17th or 18th to indoor dining when it was allowed?
Yeah, I think you could start that Wednesday and we opened Thursday. Okay.
And since then, has business been, obviously you've got a 50% max dining room capacity, but has business been decent for dine-in?
Yeah, it's just different. When we were closed and just doing takeout and delivery, we were doing these massive quantities of food because everything was family style. We wanted to make sure we were feeding your households because that's what the demand was for. So just like massive amounts of food. So now with people eating in, it's still busy. It's just a plate of food. Like, we're making individual plates again versus a family of 4.
Is it nice to have plates again?
It is. It's just it's a jumping. Before we closed, it was like, I can't believe we have to do this. And then to switch back, we were like, I miss doing takeout only. Like, it's just, but
how has dine-in affected takeout business at Cuckoo?
It has definitely slowed down. While we were closed last week, and obviously for just like a little break for everybody, after watching the news, I'm curious to see what happens now as we've seen coronavirus spiking everywhere. I'm thinking maybe it'll deter people from going out as much as they were so gung-ho about it 2 to 3 weeks ago. But we'll see. We are still doing our city drops.
Tell us about that. What's a city drop? Oh, looks like we're getting a Wi-Fi stall here. Well, the perils, hopefully you can come back in a minute. At the moment, you're just frozen. But the perils of Wi-Fi and live internet connections while people are trying to talk. One of the other things I cover is the theater, and all the theater events that have been going on virtually, they're recording them, so exactly this doesn't happen. Kaytrin, in the frozen picture we've got of her here, looks, there she is. Are you back? No. We went from pensive to looking off to the side.
Can you hear me?
Oh, hey, there you are back. That's good. So looking at from dining in, can you actually, is that a workable model for months at a time if at 50% capacity or no?
So we expanded our patio. We have our regular patio in the front that's gated in, and then we own our driveway to the side, which we had repaved, and we put tents up and flowers and trees, and now we have an extra 7 tables in our driveway. So we were able to almost add the amount of tables we had to take away from inside. We have been working weekends. We've been full, like with 50 people coming in throughout the night. I mean, that's not even close to what we used to do before we closed. But with that, and with still having some takeout, we're not seeing much of a change in sales.
Okay. Now, you alluded to this earlier there with coronavirus spikes. Let's say they're not a spike here. We may have a little blip up, but elsewhere in the country, there certainly are spikes, and they have traced them to restaurants, and there are at least 2 restaurants in the capital region that were closed by the health department because staff members, I believe it's a total of 11 staff members at Philly Bar and Grill in Latham and Delmonico's Italian Steakhouse in Colony. They had staff members test positive. So those were shut down. So there is an awareness here that there's probably some danger and thus added need for masks indoors. If the state, I don't even want to jinx this by saying it, but I have to ask the question, if the state rolls back up indoor dining upstate, could you be okay, at least as long as the warm weather allows you to have those extra tables outside?
Oh yeah, I think we would be okay as long as we're allowed to continue to take out and delivery. What I found while everybody was closed, so even if they had to close completely, I think that people going out to pick up their dinner was like the highlight of their day. Like people, we had actually started Cuckoo's Nest, we offered delivery, and we had our servers doing delivery, and nobody really wanted it. I think they were like, oh, honey, I gotta go pick up dinner, see you in an hour. Like people like looked forward to going to pick up their food. No one really asked for delivery from Cuckoo's Nest. So we kind of just took full advantage of that.
I did, and it was great.
You did, yeah, we used
Chicken sandwich was awesome.
I'm glad you liked it. Yeah, we're happy to do it. I mean, we have the ability to deliver if people were so dire to do it, but we took ourselves off Grubhub, which we were on at Cuckoo's Nest because we're trying to get away from them. And we're using our own servers and our own delivery drivers. At Crave, always have used our own drivers, but Cuckoo's Nest use our servers, and everybody liked picking it up. So I found that people want to eat. They don't want to cook. They want to have someone else make their food. They want it to be easy. They want it to be something that they can give to from their 5-year-old to their 25-year-olds and themselves, all the kids they want to be able to cover. So we did really well. And I think if we're allowed to do patio and takeout, we'll still do well. And if we close and can just do takeout, I think we'll still do well. As long as they don't shut us down completely. I was like, we're not closing. We're going to figure this out and do this.
Good. Well, let's just stress this bit about avoiding delivery services when possible, because plenty of places don't have the ability to either take the orders or to get them to you with in-house staff. But if there is that function, tell us why it's important from a restaurant perspective to order through a restaurant website instead of through Grubhub or any of the other delivery services.
So if you order right through our website from Cuckoo's Nest or Crave, we are not being charged processing fees. We're not being charged like any type of made up fee that they want to put on it and call it what it's going to be. If you order DoorDash, there's like 6 numbers at the bottom, like this fee, that fee. So they take around 30% of a sale, which is tremendous. $100, they're taking 30. That's our whole markup. That's like what we would usually use to pay our employees. And it's actually crazy to me. A lot of people don't know that. When I'm in these different food groups on Facebook and I'll see somebody post something about that, and the amount of people who are like, I didn't know that. I didn't know how much Grubhub takes from them. I didn't know that DoorDash is taking 30% of the sale and it doesn't go to the restaurant. So we're getting hit with obviously sales tax, which we always have to pay anyways. And then we get hit with a 30% fee. And then we get hit with credit card processing fees. And then we'll charge a delivery fee, let's say, to try to make up for the difference. Let's say we put a $5 delivery fee. They still charge the 30% on that delivery fee. And we're paying sales tax. So it's just like, you just can't win. And then I've also found people on Grubhub usually list their food prices much higher to try to help with the fact that they're taking 30%. So let's say a $10 burger at Crave, we could charge $20 for it online. But then you get people who write reviews like, it was so expensive, it was this and that. And it's like, well, you ordered through Grubhub, they took half of our money. The driver probably drove around for 2 hours with the food before they brought it to you. Like, there's just no way to take care of customer issues as well. I have found like, if I give it to a Grubhub driver, now it's not me anymore. If they call and complain, it took 2 hours to get here, and I say, I gave it to him 2 hours ago. I don't know where he's been with that food. It's out of my hands, but it still puts a bad taste in their mouth about my restaurant. So we have our own drivers. I can track them. They let me know, be back in 15 minutes so I can have the food ready, hot, out the door as soon as it's done being cooked. It's not sitting around. I can ask my driver, why did it take you 30 minutes to drop this? Like, no, there's just like more that I can control and manage. And it just keeps the money in our community, which is really the point of shopping small.
Good to know you have strong feelings on the matter. So obviously, your Schenectady store is not going forward immediately, but tell us what's happening over there. I mean, you were going to put a Cuckoo's Nest sibling, not exactly a replica, but a sibling just up the block from Proctor's, and that was in the works. You had the space identified and you announced it, and then you know what happened. So where are we with Schenectady?
Yeah, that was devastating. We were maybe 2 weeks from being prepared for our soft opening. And
wow, it was that close?
Yeah, I mean, we weren't as close as Toro, poor Jamie, but we were right behind them.
Oh no, that's terrible.
So,
yeah, Toro was closed the day they opened. You at least had a little bit of leeway.
You can't even make that stuff up. I feel that is just terrible, but we were close to opening. Obviously we didn't. We have a lot of feelings about the Schenectady location. Luckily, our landlords have been incredible. You know, we've talked to them throughout this. They're very flexible with us, working with us. They don't expect much out of us, considering there's so much out of our hands. We've kind of just had open lines of communication with them, and they've kind of said, like, we want you to open when you know you'll be successful, is kind of the best way that I can explain it to you. So we had closed and we had planned to now jump back into it with goals to reopen in the fall. And after watching the world spike, it kind of put more hesitation in our minds. We kind of have to write it out, like what all of our overhead costs is going to be and what we're really going to have to do with 50% capacity to make it worth our while. So that's kind of where we're at right now, like crunching numbers, revisiting the space, what we can fit, what we can't fit, what our patio can hold, and going from there.
Good. All right. I really appreciate you chatting with me. Best of luck. And I do look forward to yet another fried chicken sandwich from Cuckoo's Nest soon. I'll be sure and let you know. I appreciate it. Everybody, we've been talking to Kaytrin Ziemann, who along with her husband, Devin, runs Cuckoo's Nest and Crave Burgers and Frozen Yogurt in Albany. Cuckoo's Nest is open for dine-in, patio seating, and takeout and delivery. Crave is open for takeout and delivery. Thank you very much, Kaytrin.
Thank you, Steve.
Talk soon. So I will now offer a preview for anybody watching live of what I'm working on for today. I haven't been able to get any official comments on this, so I can't really report anything, but guess what? At least 2 strip clubs are open. Yep. I guess the rationale was that if someone can cut your hair, someone can also provide a lap dance. Night Moves, which is an all-new juice bar in Latham, it reopened yesterday, Monday, and I'm told they are doing the dance. The only thing the dancers end up wearing is their masks and maybe their shoes, but they are doing dances, and they also, I'm told, the dancers have been encouraged to do less face-to-face, even though you have masks on. It also appears that Shenanigans in Schenectady is open for stage dancing. I'm unsure about private dances. The difference there is Shenanigans may be regulated by the state, is regulated by the state liquor authority because they have a liquor license. Night Moves is not, because they, being an all-nude place, they're not allowed to serve alcohol in New York, topless only with alcoholic beverages in an establishment. But a place that it doesn't have alcohol can be all nude like Night Moves is. The owner there was very forthright in saying he reopened because he was aware that others were open. And he also has a really elaborate series that he will freely share with anyone on the strategies and the methods they're taking, the cleaning, the requirements they have for the customers and the dancers. And he flat out said, if anybody removes a mask at any point, whether it's a dancer or a customer, he's gonna kick them right out. Didn't have to do it yesterday, first day in business, but they are back. There's plexiglass dividers up at the bar and at the entrance, and there's thorough cleaning between all of the performances. And so Night Moves is back open, Shenanigans is back open, and I'm trying to track down what the authorities have to say about this. So anything I turn up will be published on timesunion.com. You can check back today or tomorrow to see what I've got. Until next week, 1 p.m. Tuesday, this is Steve Barnes with Table Hopping and Times Union Live. Eat well,